Have you recently made an immigration application and did you find that it was refused? Did you use a lawyer and yet it was still refused? Well, in this video, I'm going to be sharing some insider knowledge why sometimes an immigration application can fail. It's absolutely nothing to do with whether or not you use a lawyer. You could be doing it yourself or could have hired a lawyer, but still the same result. Now, take for example an application under the European regulations. I know that the UK government has already left the European Union, but at present, the European citizen can still apply for the family members to join them in the UK. And one of these applications is from a child over 21 years old who can prove that they are dependent on the EU citizen living in the UK, exercising freedom of movement. Now, I have a very frustrating experience with the Home Office recently because we applied for this application for my client who is a Spanish citizen and who has a child who is a non-EU citizen living in Spain. And she wanted him to come to the UK to join her family. So her family is in the UK, she has a British husband and a child. And her son has always been dependent on her. In fact, we provided proof of remittance receipt, proof that this child actually lived with them while they were in Spain. When we made the application, we submitted all those documents, but the Home Office still thought that he was not dependent. Okay, so I have no idea how they arrived at this conclusion, but they said in the refusal letter that my client's son in Spain is not dependent on her. So my client sends money all the time to pay for his food, but he also lives in the house where she is renting. So clearly it's very, very frustrating result for our client because it meant that her son cannot join her in the UK. And with the pandemic, this can be a bit scary because you don't want your family spread around and not knowing whether they'll be okay if they get infected or they get ill. My point is, when you make an application, even though you use a lawyer, it doesn't always mean that you can be successful. The lawyer can advise you on all the documents that you need to submit, but ultimately the decision lies on the Home Office to either grant or refuse the application. And in this case, it was refused. The only option that my client can do is to appeal against this decision. And there is a lot of chances to win on the appeal because it means that you have an immigration tribunal judge to look at the Home Office reasoning and then to look at the evidence that you've submitted. And then that judge will decide, are the evidence that was submitted at the application and at the appeal sufficient to prove that the Home Office was wrong in making the refusal? In a majority of cases, actually it's 50%, more than 50% of cases wins on appeal. And so when you get a refusal, don't give up. Don't just give up, please. If you have a right of appeal, use that right of appeal. And I know it can be expensive. You have to fork out another maybe a couple of thousands of pounds to pay for the lawyer's fees for appeal, but is that 2,000 a lot compared to the possibility that your son, your family member can join you permanently in the UK? I'm sure that, if you have the means to pay for the 2,000 pounds, I'm sure that it's nothing worth more than having your family member join you and live with you permanently. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys. So it's not always the lawyer's fault, and it's not always that you have not submitted the evidence. It's just that sometimes the Home Office can look at the evidence but not properly consider what evidence you have submitted. They tick the boxes, and if there's a box that hasn't been ticked, then they refuse it. And it's up to the judge then, when you go to the appeal, to correct that mistake. But you have to make the decision to put your case in front of the judge by appealing. Okay, thanks for watching this video. And if you somehow benefited or found this video useful, then please subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks very much for watching. It's Annalisa Gare saying goodbye and have a great day.